1,675, 1,674, 1,064. Oh, hi. Hey, it's Humpdays with Hal, and on this video blog, of course, I'll be talking about a lot of different things. My flying lessons, which are going swimmingly, thanks to Santa Monica Flyers, you guys rock. And then, of course, my physical fitness regimen that I've just started. I have a new weightlifting kind of goal that I've set for myself, and I'll talk about that in 1 second. And then, of course, I'm going to have an entirely separate show just to talk about Project Dragonfly. The band Zero One, my band, is playing every Monday at the Dragonfly, and it really has created an opportunity for us to like get our act together, quite literally. And because we've done a decent amount of recording, we've certainly done a lot of rehearsing, but nothing it replaces getting up on stage in front of a bunch of people and playing your songs over and over again. And everything that can go wrong will. So hopefully in that, not only will we be showing fans an inside look of our process and all that kind of stuff that they might be interested in seeing and listening to the music that we play live, but also if you're starting a band, or you're thinking about starting a band, or you've been in a band for a while and you're stuck, or you're looking for new ideas on how to invigorate your live show and stuff, maybe perhaps in the process of us putting all this stuff together, you might get a couple of good ideas. So I'm gonna throw that around. But first, let's talk a little bit about me working out. I have, with my buddy Brooks Krause, started working out quite extensively, and my goal, I have a new goal for myself. I've never deadlifted in my life, okay? I've done a decent amount of like curling and weightlifting and that kind of stuff, but I've never done like heavy weights. I've always been a high rep, low weight kind of a guy, you know, the idea of keeping lean muscle or something, but I was always plateauing. I could never get past a certain point where my muscles just would not grow past a certain point. And so I've decided over the next year to just step it up. I'm just going to all but physically rebuild myself, and hopefully, you know, the progress will show over time. But that being said, I set out the goal for myself after I'd never deadlifted in my life. I deadlifted like 225 last week, which was a big deal. And my goal 2 months from now is to be able to lift 300 pounds. It's, you know, I weigh 165 fully clothed, soaking wet. It's kind of a big deal for me. And so based on that theory, I've been thinking a lot about whether or not I can do it. You know, your brain goes through a lot of imaginations while you're working out. Can you do it? And the truth is, I can't. I myself, right now, I can't do it. I can't deadlift 300 pounds. But the me that's going to lift 300 pounds in 2 months isn't this me. Because whenever you set upon a task for yourself, and you decide you've got a goal for yourself or something you want to accomplish, in the process of accomplishing that and doing all the little steps that are accrued in that kind of work, you're not you anymore. Especially if it pushes you well past your comfort zones. Everybody's has a little more strength and a little more ability than they give themselves credit for. So they can go to the gym and they can work out, and they can start learning a foreign language or some new skill or something. And as long as they're not really pushing the edge of who they are, they can pull it off. And so they don't really go through any kind of major shift. They don't really change as a human being. But when you go through a big leap like this is for me, the person I become is not me. I mean, if you want to talk about string theory and the space-time continuum or some nonsense like that, you can kind of get this idea that there are two me's that split off, and this is the one that can lift 300 pounds, and the other one just kind of evaporated in a lack of consciousness or something deep like that, if you want to go. But the reality is that anything you do that drastically changes who you are or what your abilities are expands your ability. It's, you know, I think Tony Robbins uses that idea, the circle. You have a circle around you of your ability and your, you know, your coping mechanisms and your comfort zone. And once you bump against some area, one part of that, and you expand it, it doesn't just expand that area like creating a bubble, as it were. It blows the whole thing out. The entire circle expands. So anyways, point being, the version of me that's going to be able to lift 300 pounds is not the version of me that's standing here, and certainly not the version of me that started with that goal in the first place. That version of me is going to exist 2 months or less in the future, because I've set a goal for myself and I'm working towards that, and I'm sure I can attain it. And by setting myself incremental goals, I'm shifting myself, my person, my actual ability, the me that exists right now, will, in practical terms cease to exist and be replaced by somebody who can lift 300 pounds. That's it. So when you have a goal for yourself and you go, I'd love to do this, but I can't, you're right. But the you that will get to the point of actually accomplishing that goal doesn't exist yet. You bring that into existence simply by working towards your goal. That's why the hard work aspects of goals come into play, is that you put a new you on the line to get that done. That's it. So anyways, and if you need proof of that, you can watch over the next couple months, because I've set a goal and I've made it public and I'm gonna end up doing it. So the great thing about it is there's nothing I can do that anybody else can't do, period. I'm a big believer in what one man can do, another can do. What one person can do, is capable of, you can find a way to do it, even if it's not in the exact same mechanical reason. If you're missing, you know, a limb, or you have certain physical constraints or mental constraints, you can still achieve the goal in a practical sense from a different angle or something like that. But either way, that was really what sort of shockingly occurred to me when I was able to deadlift 225 pounds the other day. Never occurred to me I'd be able to do that, because that's just not something I do. And now I can. So the version of me that started this still can't, and in some sort of weird space-time continuum arc that's that big. But the new me that went through the process of those stages can. So whenever you're thinking of a goal, you go, I just can't do it. You're right. But you're not going to be you when you get to the completion of that goal. You're going to change. You're going to be more capable because you work on it. That just occurred to me, and it's late at night and I had to say that. Anyways, have a great week, and I'll see you on Saturday for the radio show. HSRPM is Saturdays, of course, on WCPT radio, and I, of course, stream it on my site and, of course, on my YouTube page. Enjoy that. And then, of course, the 01 Dragonfly project is going to be a separate video series, and we'll put that up soon. Anyways, take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else, as George Carlin used to say. I'm fine. I'm good. Who's working out? You or me? Do that.
That makes sense? So hit, it's sort of like walking.